Today's video where I'm going to tell you a little bit, give you a little bit of an update on the revise and resubmit that I'm working on. This is for MIS Quarterly, and this is a difficult one, but I am happy. I am a little bit more tranquil, confident, because I have something that makes sense to me, and as I told you before, I did a video on how to use figures to bring out the theoretical contribution of your paper. I actually did that here in this paper, and I want to show you how. Okay, how did I do this? Okay, so basically, I I began to go through the literature and think about what would be some frames for the paper. And as I told you before, the best way to do this is by looking at your research setting. So I was looking at BI, business intelligence, and I came across this paper about a model of information success for business intelligence, and um, that piqued my curiosity, and I went back and read a little bit more on information systems success. And it seemed to me that it was a topic in information systems that could really help. Has ample room for theoretical contributions. Okay, so that's what I'm doing with this paper. And so the original model of information system success is uh, is is the here in black. Okay, so let me just notes, shape. How do I format this? Format. Oh, format is here. Border colors. Change border color. Clear border color. Okay, there we go. So the original model is the figure in black. Okay, so this is the original model of information system success. Okay, and basically what what I'm doing in the paper is I am adding these two new factors in pink here and these three new factors in pink here. Okay. In addition to adding these new factors, I am also changing or improving the specification of the three antecedents in the model. Okay? And I am doing this, basically by moving theory forward by introducing agency, the role of people in information system success. So if we introduce the role of people of information system success, we not only improve the specification of the antecedents of information system success, but we actually add two new antecedents and we change the specification of use. Okay? So that's my theoretical contribution. And how do you see it? Well, you see it here in the model with everything that is pink. Okay, so this is not only important for the paper, for the writing, for the reviewers, but also for yourself, because part of the process of writing is coming becoming in peace with your paper. Okay, being confident in what you're doing, being sure of what you're doing, realizing that you're doing a good job in the paper, and clarity really helps there. Being able to look at the figure and saying, "Here's my theoretical contribution, and I think this is a valuable theoretical contribution," then really like puts your mind at ease and helps really structure, but also motivate your writing. Now, when I came up with this idea, I was basically thinking about suggesting alternative paths to information system success beyond individual use. And now I do have them, right? So one of them is here by shaping the antecedents of information system success. The other one is here, which is by shaping use. Okay? So there's the one path which is people individually looking at information systems and making decisions. And I have two new paths. One is where people are collectively making those decisions, and then a second path where people are improving the antecedents that lead to the decision-making process. Okay. Now, when I was writing the outline, I was feeling a little bit queasy because uncertain, because I did think that this is a clean contribution that I think is important, but I wasn't hitting any of the points that my reviewers were asking me to hit. Until I realized that in my data, all of these things in pink are in some way collective accomplishments. They are done by multiple people. And one of the points that all of my reviewers agreed upon was that the previous version of the paper really did a good job in arguing for a collective view of whatever process I was describing. So that's great, right? Because now I can really answer to reviewers, and I have a novel contribution to make. And I want to use this to really call your attention to two things, okay? The first one is that this idea that I discussed in the previous video about being relatively broad in the contributions in what you're doing in the first submission that you send, because you are giving reviewers material that they can pick upon and help you direct your paper to something that they are willing to accept. So in my case, reviewers really hated my core theoretical frame for the paper. They told me it was a straw man argument, straw person argument, that I was misinterpreting the literature. But they liked this idea that I threw in the discussion of the paper about this being a collective process. And so this really helps me, not only because it gives me the idea of looking at more, focusing on the collective side of what I'm studying, but also because it allows me to sell the new version of the paper to reviewers as something that is benefiting, addressing, taking seriously their contribution. And it is. It's not a gimmick. I'm not pretending. It's not a facade. It is, right? So it is really important that in the first submission of your paper that you really, throw this, I don't want to call it bait, but you throw some morsels and see what people are interested in. The second point that I want to make is about writing methods. So I was feeling super insecure when writing the discussion of this paper. And I told you in the previous video, when you feel insecure, just really use the notes section in Scrivener to, not to write the paper, but to, rehearse, develop outlines of the paper. So let me show you something, okay? So I outline the paper. You see the outline is here, okay? So here it is. So it was a pretty nice sizable outline. So let's see how many words we have in the outline. Well, we have 2,000 words, so that's pretty nice. And then what I decided is, okay, I'm going to do a new outline, but I'm going to make it really extensive. So you can see I don't have points anymore. I have entire paragraphs. And now, look, I have 3,400 words, so it's 20 to 21,000 characters. That's 10 pages and a half. That's basically the discussion section, right? So that's the point, right? When you feel insecure, where you don't really feel ready to write the discussion section in the manuscript part of your file in Scrivener, just go to your notes and do a rich outline. When a rich outline, it's not the final version. You don't feel I don't feel as much pressure, at least as a writer. I'm still drafting. It's okay not to choose like horrible words and sentences. And basically it's done, right? I'll probably even have to cut things out of the outline now. Obviously, there are things to improve. You see that I have things in brackets here that I need to find the right word, but it's done, it's written down, and now it's just writing, choosing the right words, and making nice sentences and so on, so much easier. So really use this, I mean, you say, this is silly. Why didn't I just write this here? Well, it's also a mind game, right? Writing is also a mind game. So sometimes you need to play games with your own mind to pull it off. Anyway, so I hope this was a helpful little insight into my writing process. And I'll catch everybody tomorrow. Tomorrow I think we're going to get back to Scrivener and look at a couple of like very small functions that I think are pretty cool. Um, in the meantime, Scrivener now has an official podcast, so you may want to check it out. It's normally more for book writing than academic writing, but the interviews still discuss some really cool features in Scrivener that you may not have heard before and are super helpful. So I'll catch everybody tomorrow and have a great rest of the afternoon. Bye bye. Oh yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube. Really appreciate it. Thank you.